Hey guys, welcome back to episode 15 of Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode. So last time we got our blood magic set up here, we upgraded the altar, we got the Well of Suffering in place, and then we continued with the production of Wyvern cores. So we got all the items now available to us, we just need the PrimalMana. So we need the IC2 coolant, the Molten Osgo glass, and Molten marian. So let's just start with the easy one, which is IC2 coolant. I've made this before for automating overclockers, but I think I'm going to make a separate system for it, just completely isolated over this side, I think. Or maybe I'll do it next to this carpenter. No, we're going to do it over this side of the room. So yeah, let's just start with a macerator for lapis dust into a cannon machine on fluid enrich. These will need power, and then we'll just use a flux point for this. We can have an export bus on the macerator for lapis. So lapis goes in there. Then the lapis will go in the cannon machine. We need a source of water as well. So I'll just use this dense heavy water source. And this can go here, I guess. And then we can just fluid conduit that. So extract on blue, always active. Fluid, insert blue. And there we have water. So maybe I'll put some overclockers in here just to speed it up. 8 should be enough. We don't need a ton of this, so yeah, that's the IC2 coolant taken care of. Next, let's move on to the Osgo glass. So this is going to take refined glowstone, refined obsidian, and molten osmium. So there's a couple of ways we can go about getting these ingredients here. I have them all on demand crafting set up for each of these, and we have obviously the osmium from the resource miners and things like that. But I think I'll set up a dedicated passive system for the glowstone and the refined obsidian here, just to keep it separate from the on-demand things. I could also use a crafting card or something, but that's not really amazing for performance. So I'll just set up a separate system here. It's not like we can't afford it. So I'll have an interface here supplying osmium and glowstone, and then we can extract that into the osmium compressor. Alright, so that's our glowstone ingots being passively produced here. Next up is the obsidian. Yeah, refined obsidian, which takes one extra step for the ingot. So we're going to need a metallurgic infuser for that, and also an enrichment chamber. So let me set that up as well. Right, so it's a little bit dire wiry, but I got it all set up. So we have refined obsidian dust being here, and then I need to set up 2 more machines here for refined obsidian. So I have the obsidian going into the macerator, and then that gets put into the metallurgic infuser, which is supplied compressed diamonds from the enrichment chamber, and that gives you a more efficient infused recipe for this refined obsidian dust. I just have to add another osmium compressor to turn this refined obsidian dust into ingots. Alright, there's another osmium compressor added here. The way I have this set up is I just have everything on the brown channel, and then I'm using item filters on each of these to filter the correct things. Anyways, now our glowstone ingots and refined obsidian ingots need to be melted, so we can just output the sides here into the 2 melters. Just like that. So now we have molten obsidian, molten glowstone. These just need power now. So we can run power along like that. And then the only thing we're missing for the Osgo glass is molten osmium. So we're already getting osmium from this interface here. So we can just, I think, just put another melter on top. And there's our molten osmium. So now we just need to put it into an alloy tank very similar to this. And that will be 1 step of PrimalMana done. Actually 2 steps. We have the IC2 coolant and the Osgo glass now. And there we have it, there's our molten Osgo glass. Last up is the most difficult step here, so it's molten marian, which is liquid glass, molten cobalt, molten elementium, mana steel, and terra steel. We don't actually have to produce any of these ingots on site here like this, because we have the ingot form being produced automatically, just passively. The only thing I think we'll need is glass, which is easy to liquefy. we can use just a melter with either sand or glass, which we're making from the stonework factories. Let's first muffle these machines because they are really annoying. Much better. So we'll start with another interface here with glass being supplied. So once this connects, I just connected it to the cable, it might take a second. Yeah, there we go. So there's glass going into this melter. We'll need power. We can just steal power from over here. So there's our glass. Another melter for cobalt, elementium, mana steel, and terrasteel. Alright, there's another 5 melters all being supplied with each of the 5 ingots here. Now comes the tricky part. So we have 5 materials going in, and we have obviously 6 sides to play with on the alloy tank. However, one side needs to be a furnace or a fuel of some sort. So in order to fit all of this in the one alloy tank, we're going to have to use some sort of phantom face. Alright, I managed to get this all hooked up. We are now making marian, which is the most difficult part. So let me show you the setup here. So everything from the melters is being supplied by the interfaces we've seen. And then it's all being extracted on the fluid brown channel. And then I just have filters here for each of the fluids on all 5 sides. Then obviously the fuel, so lava, I'll have to set up a supply for lava as well for this one and also that alloy tank over there as well. Actually that one as well. All of the liquids are then pumped in through these conduits, and then I have this phantom face underneath this tank here connected to the middle alloy block using this phantom collector. So you just right click the block in the middle there and then right click the connector, and this auto pushes into tanks. So now we're getting marian. We can now use the marian for the 4th and final step of alloying into PrimalMana, and then we'll use the PrimalMana into the carpenter, and that is our Wyvern cores. Alright, there's our last and final setup here for the PrimalMana. So all we need to do now is put that into the carpenter. It's the exact same setup, I just have filters on all these for the fluids to make sure they don't get mixed up. I will still have to add the fuel like I said, but yeah, we can now just extract from here. And insert on the carpenter here, on I think it was blue channel I picked. Yep, so now we have PrimalMana. So that should be this carpenter good to go. We're still missing the input item, so I have to set the recipe as well. So if we say processing pattern, Wyvern core, we put the pattern in the interface, and then we should now see a recipe for Wyvern cores. Yes, we do. Let's try and order this. Hopefully this crafts. Did it finish? Maybe we need the blueprint in here? I'm hoping so. Oh no. Missing input item. Oh, the recipe's wrong. It's 2 ludicrate, not just the 1. Hold on, let me fix this. There we go, I need the extra ingot in here. I don't know why it sometimes does that when you shift click modular machinery recipes in. It always misses one item, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it thinks this is the item input as well, so it tries to put it in the input slot. I don't know. Anyways, it should be fixed now if we go and try the autocraft. Alright, let's take these items out, put them back in the system, and we'll try order one more. There we go, nice! We have our Wyvern cores on autocraft. Before we get onto the Wyvern cores, I wanted to take a break from all the tech stuff, so I sat down, put on some music, and started building, and so here's the results. Alright, and there we have it. I'm really happy with the way this actually turned out. There's still a few things here that I need to finish, like this walkway area in here. I don't know exactly how this is going to all tie in. I'll probably tie in somewhere around there as well. I also have to find some place for this Hellfire Forge and the alchemy table. Maybe I'll extend this onto the back wall here just so that it isn't like a 1 block gap. I don't know yet, that's something I'll figure out. But in this room here I also put facades on everything, so we have nice clean flat face walls now. So I really like the look of this place now. I also added these magma crucibles here for lava production, and that is going into a fluid storage bus. And then on each of these sear tanks at the bottom I just have a fluid export bus. So it just takes it from the ender chest. I was going to originally put ender chests on all 3, but it's easier just doing it this way anyway. So that's all the fuel systems set up now for this room. I also put facades on this room and through in the main corridor as well. I'll show you that. So everything just sits a bit nicer and cleaner. I still don't know what I'm going to do with these things here. I kind of like the way they look when they're lit up like this, but I might still cover them. I'm not entirely sure yet. But before we move on to fusion crafting, there is one thing I want to get, and that is the upgraded dank null. It makes building a lot easier because this one only holds 3200 of each block, which seems like a lot, but when you're building on this scale, I mean, you go through the blocks quite fast. So I set up this quantum compressor for pistons, because in order to make the dank null you need these singularities which take the matter condenser, and the way you make this is you need 10,000 pistons with the elite compression factory as the catalyst here. So I just took that up to my replicator and printed all the pistons, and I think I used about 200 buckets of UU matter, which is a bit insane. I didn't realise it would go through that much. I calculated after I started it and it was already at like 7,000 or something. But yeah, I'm going to finish this off, and then with this we can also make the dank null and also the infinity booster card, which is pretty nice. I'm not sure if I can fully complete this yet because this takes angulicite. Most of the stuff here isn't too bad. I think I have pretty much everything except the resonant and energized clathrates. And the only way to get those, as far as I know, is to go to other planets that we haven't been to yet. So I think I might visit Mercury, if that has both. I don't know, I'll have to have a look at that. But anyways, while we wait for those pistons, why don't we try to make this fusion crafting core. So this is basically the upgrade to the extended crafting version. But it lets us do all the draconic recipes, so it'll let us get all the tools, the armor. I think we need this for Wyvern cores, or draconic cores as well. And then we upgrade to the next tier of fusion injectors. Alright, so looking at this fusion crafting recipe, the most difficult thing by far is this cell frame, the resonant one. I thought originally it was the signalum one, which we already have, but no, it's the resonant. So the step to get from signalum to resonant is not too bad. The mana dust we can now craft. I've set all this up. We have Botania in place now. But this step is going to take a little bit of extra infrastructure to set up. So let's just go through this one by one and then we'll see what we're missing. So Moonstone, I think this is just a matter of adding recipes. I have a resonator, so I can just add this. Then steel plates, that's easy. Lapidron crystals, I have those on auto already. Ender electrons, I'll have to set up a thermionic fabricator for this, but this is easy. Pulsating mesh we'll come back to. Reactor frames I have. Structure frames I have. Infused diamonds I have. Control circuits I've got. Enderium gears I've got. Litherite crystal. Bioplastic I have that. Cubic boron nitride, I'll have to make that. Genetics processors I have. So it's just really the pulsating mesh and cubic boron nitride. This pulsating mesh comes from bees, and since I don't really fancy setting up another bee system, I done it the first time where I basically bred up all the bees and got them like max statted. Only to realise you only need about 40 of these meshes to finish the game, or to finish the pack. So there is another way you can get these pulsating propolis, and that is just to scoop all the bees up from the end. It might take me about an hour, but I don't really mind doing that. I'd rather do that than set up bees, to be honest. So I think for that I'll just farm up from the nether. As for this though, we're going to have to set up this, and I don't remember exactly how this is made. I think you have to make it from the liquid. So we need boric acid and ammonia, and boric acid is water and diborane, hydrogen boron 10, and boron 10 comes from molten boron. So this is going to be a few steps to set up. I might put this cubic boron off until next time, and I'll just work on the resonant frame today instead. So I'd like to stick it next to this other thermionic that I have for, what is this, apatite electron tubes. But this melter's in the way, so I think I might move this maybe above here. Alright, I moved the melter. Let's put the fabricator here, and then we'll import the recipe like that. And then you can actually switch this to fused quartz as well since it's cheaper. Alright, so we'll put our interface in the bottom, supplying glass. I'll give it power, and then I need to import the glass from the bottom. Alright, I think we just need to put the pattern in and request to sell, and we should have everything, I believe. Yep. Alright, I think this recipe has to be this Enderium glass, so I had to add a recipe for that. We had everything already, I just had to get the pulverized Enderium blend. So it's just one of those I want, and then edit this and put it in the correct interface. That one. Now let's go try the recipe again. Alright, so this thermionic fabricator isn't getting any resources, and I have the item extract set here, and I just tried it, like putting in all the things manually, and it does work. So I was thinking maybe it had to be the advanced thermionic, but that isn't it. So I'm really not sure why this isn't getting the items from the interface. Alright, I think I fixed it. It was that silly importing recipes from JAI again. So when it imported sandstone as an input as well, even though we don't need it because we're getting glass from the interface. So I amended that. I realised that there was 10 items on the input here, and that can't be right. So I'm like 99% confident this one's going to work. Alright, that seems to have fixed it. So now we have the cell frames done. We're now missing cubic boron nitride and pulsating mesh. However, I just checked the time on the episode. I think we're running out here, so I'm going to cut it here, and I'll probably farm up the meshes in between, or the propolis rather, and just go to the end and farm a bunch of that up. But yeah, I'm happy with the progress we made today. We got the things cleaned up, we got the cell frame started on. So next time I'll work on filling this frame to make the full version, so I hope we have this by the end of next time, and then we can get on to fusion crafting. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.